Hey, what's up YouTube? Nathan Strength here with tips on how to get you ripped and muscular for summer and I guess beyond, because we're getting into fall now eventually, unfortunately. And I don't know if you guys have heard this from me before, but I'm a big believer in using phases in order to achieve maximum transformation. Because unfortunately, it's very hard to gain muscle and lose fat efficiently at the same time. So in order to help you guys with that, I've got a 6-part series coming out right now on different tweaks you can make to your diet, training, and lifestyle in order to have an effective bulk or cut depending on what you're doing. So today we're going to be talking about carb intake and how to manipulate carbs in order to either bulk to gain muscle or cut in order to lose fat and get shredded. So let's get right into it. So for you guys out there that are trying to gain lots of muscle, you've got to keep your carbs on the higher end of the spectrum. And there's 3 reasons why I've come up with that you want to increase carb intake while you're bulking. First of all, carbs increase your insulin levels. Insulin is the body's storage hormone. The more insulin that you have, the more nutrients get stored into your muscles. Secondly, the more carbs you take in, the more glycogen you're going to store in your muscle cells. And that's going to increase your training intensity because you've got more energy available to your muscles. And thirdly, carbs are very protein sparing. And I'm going to have a visual for you guys that I'm going to cut to right now that's going to kind of explain why. So what I've got here is a cup of oatmeal and a cup of whey protein. Now let's pretend that this bowl is your body's furnace. Basically anything that goes in this bowl is used as energy and burned off. Let's take the oatmeal out of the picture. Let's say that you're trying to bulk, you're trying to gain lots of muscle, and so you take in whey protein, because everyone's big into whey protein these days. Eventually your body says, oh man, I need some energy. What am I going to use for energy? So first it looks for carbs, but there's none there. So what does it do? Well, you just took a protein shake. So it says, oh, I can break these amino acids down, convert them to glucose, and use them as energy. So it takes all that protein and burns it all up. And then when your muscles start screaming, oh man, where are my amino acids? I just worked out, I need to build muscle. There's nothing left. It's all gone. It's all been used up. Okay, same scenario except for you just ate a protein shake and then you had oatmeal as well. I gotta fuel this body. And so it says, oh, there's some carbs in here. Okay, so it burns those carbs. And what's left over? You've got protein left over. And your muscles say, oh man, I need to build up my muscles because I just worked them so hard in the gym. So your body takes the protein and it uses them to build up your muscle. So that's what I mean by carbs are protein sparing, in that your body will spare protein and use the carbs as energy instead. So guys, that's 3 reasons why when you're bulking, you want to have a high carb intake. The thing is, guys, insulin is a double-edged sword. Although it has amazing qualities for muscle gain, especially in a bulking cycle, when you spike your insulin levels, there's also issues that arise. That's why when you are cutting, you want to lower the amount of insulin that your body produces. When you're cutting, you want to lower your intake of carbs. The first reason why is because when you have high insulin levels in your body, it's impossible for your body to burn fat. That's why you don't want to have high levels of insulin in your body when you're trying to cut. Even worse, having too much carbs leads to a spillover effect, which adds fat to your body. Let me explain. Insulin will store carbs into your muscle cells first. Pretend this cup is your muscle cells. And then if there's no room left in your muscle cells, it'll store it as fat. So let's say you just ate a huge amount of carbs and you're trying to cut in your diet. Okay, so it's first, it fills up your muscle cells, fills up as much as it can. But it spills over. And what do you think this is? This big bowl? That's your fat cells. Bottom line is, when you're cutting, you don't want to have too many carbs. Because at the very least, you're not going to burn fat. And at the worst, you might actually even gain fat. Either way, guys, you want to lean towards using complex carbs rather than simple carbs in your diet. Because spillovers can occur whether you're bulking or cutting. And you don't want that to happen because that's going to lead to excess fat gain. So instead of having that chocolate bar or that white flour Wonder Bread, you want to have either the whole wheat bread or even better, have brown rice, oatmeal, things of that nature, sweet potato. Those are awesome complex carbs that are going to keep your insulin levels at a good steady level, provide your body with energy, and be protein sparing, especially if you're bulking. The only exception to this rule is post-workout, feel free to have as much simple sugars as you need because your muscle cells are empty, meaning that there's less chance of a spillover, And also, you want to put as much nutrients as possible into your muscles when they've been torn up by an intense workout. So guys, I hope that gives you a better idea on how to manipulate your diet in order to reach your goals, whether you're bulking or cutting. And stay tuned for my next episode where I talk about caloric density and how to manipulate that in order to reach your bulking or cutting goals. Remember guys, dedication leads to results. Subscribe if you haven't already to see all my new videos. And don't forget, check out my Facebook page, guys. Like my Facebook page and ask me any question you want. I'm here for you guys. So, until then, Nathan Strength out.